I am now going to describe the output from the wealth model. Again, you're using this for your retirement portfolio model. And this is, as we've shown in previous or other videos, a Python file that we've made available to you. And what it is going to do is estimate if you make a $400 investment every month for the next 40 years, what the expected value of that will be, as well as 5 and 10% value at risk. The input that you will have to make is your username, that would be your name. Number of years, we have this set at 40. If you want to change that, you can see what that does. Monthly contribution. Again, we told you for this example, for this retirement portfolio, to put $400 in. You could put less or more in just to see what that will do to your retirement portfolio. Put the expected return in of the portfolio. So this is what you expect to get every month. So I'm using a 9.5% return. You should have gotten that from your allocation, the portfolio that you allocated, the 9.51%. This is an annualized return, and the portfolio model is going to take that down and calculate a monthly return and then apply it here. Standard deviation, again, annualized. Starting date and number of iterations, that's at 10,000. This model, by the way, is going to give you a little bit different numbers every time you run it because it's a simulation model. Simulations models makes use of random numbers. They will vary a little bit. If you want to increase the accuracy, increase this to 10,000 to 100,000 to a million, and it's just going to take longer to run. All right, once you get your inputs in, press return, press run, and it's going to think. The bigger this number is, the more time it's going to think about it, but it's going to take a little bit. We'll give you every year the expected return. This, by the way, excuse me. First off, we're going to give you a graph. Let me pull this up. And this is your expected value level. Here we're at 0. Put in $400 every month, and you get up here. By the way, look at it just begins bending up. Again, what's happening here is you're getting more and more of a beginning balance in that portfolio. So that's becoming more and more, and it just, as you can see, there's a curved upward slope. So you begin this later, it's going to take longer. This is the 10% value at risk. So 10% of the time you would expect your returns from this portfolio to be less than that value. You want that number to be as high as possible, and this is 5% value at risk. All right? So those are the numbers that this value gives. We give it a graphical view, and then down below it, here's in 2060. So my example, 1.934535. Here's the 10% value at risk. Here's the 5% value at risk. Again, those numbers are going to vary a little bit every time you hit return. So let me just hit return again. It's calculating it again. So now it's going through and it's going to calculate it again. And you'll see here just a little bit. They vary just a little bit because every time you do it, there's a different set of random numbers given in there. All right. That's what you need to do. This is what you're going to select. I would suggest putting this graph in your assignment as well. In case you're curious, you can come over here. This is actually a form, and behind it there's a code. If you want to know what the Python code looks like, just go over here and hit form. You don't have to do this, but if you're curious, here's the form. Here's the show the code. Here's the code. We have this code up here. sets up the form that you see. Here's our import our packages into pandas. This is what we're going to need. We take our expected returns and risk, take them down to the monthly level. This gets our monthly random returns. This is a matrix that has 40 by 12 columns and the number of iterations of rows. So this is a 10,000, if you had 10,000 here, 10,000 by 40 times 12. We can then put a balance in here and do the balance calculations in here, and then the rest of this puts out the forms, plots them, and plots them. All right, so that's what's behind this. You can hide that again, and you'll see this form and this output. So this is what we're doing here. This is the wealth model. Other modules in this or videos will describe value at risk and other things.